Flamagra is out now. It has been 5 long years since the last Flying Lotus album. He killed us all with You're Dead in 2014, and now he's back to kill us all again with 5. Flying Lotus albums are always quite the odyssey. You know, each one sort of exists on its own plane of reality, man. You have the explosive cosmic barrage that is Cosmogramma, the very soothing kind of nocturnal Until the Quiet Comes, and the very fiery, bustling, jazz-influenced take on morality that was You're Dead. And here with Flamagra, we're getting easily his most cinematic and ambitious record yet. One characteristic I can give Flamagra that I can't really apply in the same way to those previous albums is the fact that this thing is very apocalyptic in presentation. Many references to fire engulfing everything. In fact, the album literally ends with like a minute of just crackling fire. Musically, the sound palette of Flamagra falls mostly in line with Cosmogramma, I think, in regards to which one it resembles the most out of its previous projects. And whilst this album has all the ambition, I don't really think it has quite the same concise vision as that album does. This thing can jump from tone to tone pretty jarringly on quite a few occasions, and it can make the album feel a little bit exhausting to sit through, because quite a few of these tracks really strike me as inessential, and like you're just hearing Flying Lotus kind of punch under his weight a bit. Like, Flying Lotus is no stranger to including many different small songs that all come together to create a really nice grand whole, but those smaller moments on this album really do fall flat for me. Their inclusion on the album in this case just kind of reads to me as Flying Lotus taking more of a throw everything you can at the wall and just kind of see what sticks approach, and that can make the album feel a little bit bloated and tiring to sit through from front to back. Like, I never really get the feeling like one song is kind of bouncing or playing off of the momentum built from the previous song, and rarely do I ever feel like the songs at all are reinforcing each other much. Like, the song FF4 just reads to me as like, why include that? Like, it just sounds like what you would get off of any lo-fi hip-hop beat. I don't really see how it contributes anything massively significant to the ultimate listening experience here, as well as the song Pygmy, which is just kind of carried by these pretty limp drums and guitar licks. The song Capillaries never really feels like it actually truly gets started. It just kind of incessantly repeats this redundant synth chord, and these kind of melancholic keys come in, but then it just kind of gets awkwardly interrupted by the barrage of the song Burning Down the House, which this song as well, it's just a bit too messy for me. Like, the beat is already, as it is, really clunky and overbearing, but then you have these like high-pitched vocal shouts and George Clinton on top. It just kind of leaves very little room to breathe and just kind of suffocates me a bit, and it doesn't really agree with my ears, even though it does kind of give off that apocalyptic manic tone. I just don't really enjoy hearing. But that is not to say there are not great moments on this album, as there are with every song on this album. The song More with Anderson .Paak. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? That's a clear highlight right there. You know, I think the beat, it does everything it needs to, nothing it doesn't. The drums are just so tight and crisp, and Anderson .Paak just fits so comfortably on top. I like the statement he's making on this track to search for the value in helping those around him, as opposed to specifically looking for his own benefits, almost to suggest that we as people are the ones engulfing our world in flames, you know, with our own selfishness. You know, I think the song Takashi is quite an invigorating moment on the album. This is the longest track here. It moves through many different insane phases, but I like how it kind of calmly starts off with those twinkling notes before just erupting into this rush of just frenzied joy. It's just such a fucking motivational anthem of a song. Post-Requisite might be my favorite though, man. I love how this track takes so many oddball, glitchy noises and just compiles them together to create such a bouncy rhythm. Like, it just sounds like it really shouldn't work as well as it does. Like, all the sounds on this track are just pulled from completely different places, but he just arranges them so nicely. I think it's all tied together with this really tight, groovy bass line too. It's just such a succinct and catchy banger of a song. Two more cuts I really like on this thing come back to back. The songs Andromeda and Remind You. Both are incredibly gorgeous in my opinion. Those really soft, warm melodic synths, the way they just kind of swell up is just so fucking transcendent. And Black Balloon's Reprise is such an intimidating banger of a song. That sample is so damn fierce, and then you have Denzel Curry's incredibly urgent and intense performance, which comes right before one of the most stirring songs on the album, Fire Is Coming, with David Lynch, who delivers a very chilling spoken word piece about a family sort of realizing that the end is upon them, sort of like seeing the fire just sort of take over everything around them, and the scaring drums that come in the second half of the song sound akin to what it would be like when everyone realizes like the apocalypse is here, they're all running away for safety and shit. Like, there's so much tension in this one song, but I just don't really feel like there's much tension or harmony between all the songs together as a whole. I'm gonna go with a 7 out of 10. I do really like this album. I do think it's really good. I just kind of wish some of the more inessential moments were just kind of trimmed down, and that the songs themselves just generally reinforced each other a little bit better to make for a more fulfilling album experience, because I just find this thing a little bit exhausting to listen to front to back. But this is still a very impressive and ambitious body of work that I am enjoying a great deal, and I recommend you go hear it. Thank you so much for watching my review. I hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know what you think of the album in the comments, and I will see you on the next review. Bye!